guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Welcome to an afternoon video. It's not something that I normally do, so a little bit out of the regular norm of society for me. Obviously, I wasn't expecting to make a video until tomorrow, being obviously that Liverpool game is this evening at 8 o'clock, which just over 6 hours away until that game. But this is a video that I want to do because we have some interesting transfer news that have come out within the last sort of 45 minutes. We'll be talking about Marcus Rashford and supposed interest from Tottenham in him, as well as interest in Douglas Luiz, the Juventus midfielder, and why I am not blown away by one, but not as much minding the other. You have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see until I get there. So let's talk about it. So Marcus Rashford being the man on thumbnail. Sorry, afternoon, Kinnan, Spurs, Conography, Jake, Phil, Bazza and Azza. Lucky to get 2 vids. Don't say I don't treat you. So let's talk about really this weird old Marcus Rashford information. Bear with me. Chris Wheeler, who I was sort of having a quick look at Chris Wheeler as a person. He's someone who is a journalist who covers Manchester United, and needless to say, the Manchester United fan base aren't big fans of him. Go have a look on Twitter if you want to see it. But he has said that Tottenham have interest in signing Marcus Rashford on loan. However, any deal would hinge on what proportion of what his wages United are prepared to pay, as well as the size of the fee if there is an obligation to buy. The forward's weekly wages are believed to be around £325,000 a week. Good Lord. Oh, my word. What crazy wages that is. 325 grand a week. You know, I'm looking at... I'm sorry, I've just found potentially something else. I don't care then. Yeah, I was looking at around seeing if there's anyone else that sort of released some transformation on this deal. Hey, Ray, how are you? And Ben Jacobs saying that understand that no talks so far between Spurs and Marcus Rashford's camp. And I said, look, huge, and I mean huge wages. Let's not bail Manchester United out with their financial fair play issues. He has not been good for a while and does not fit Spurs and their style of play. It's an awful, awful fit. And again, I will stick true to the wording of if Ange wants a guy, then I respect it. I respect it, right? Because if he looks at Marcus Rashford and he looks at him and thinks that is a player who I could really use, but also that's a player that's going to really help me, then okay, I will swallow my tongue on this and I will back it. £325,000 a week. I mean, I think Son is on about 190. I don't think Marcus Rashford has ever been better than Heung-Min Son. He might have had that one brief year that you could say Marcus Rashford was fantastic, and he was. But look at the body of work. It's night and day how much better Son is. It's night and day. I mean, look at it this season. So Marcus Rashford, by the way, is 27. He is on the younger side of 27 because he was born on Halloween, October 31st. Look at that. His contract expires in the summer of 2028. Transfer market value at €55 million, so about £50 million. This season, he has played 24 times across the Premier League, the Europa League, the EFL Cup, and the Community Shield. He has scored 7 and assisted 3. So just over 1 in every 2 games. Sorry, maths there was failing me. He's got a goal and assist in 6 games within the Europa League. He does have 3 goals in the EFL Cup, but I'd love to know who they've played in the EFL Cup other than us. And he has 5 goal contributions in 15 games in the Premier League. So for 325 grand a week, you get a guy who contributes every 2.5 games with a goal or an assist. Not great. There is a lot of drama, unfortunately. It doesn't mean it's all his fault, but there's a lot of drama that follows Marcus Rashford. You know, people think that he might even be a leak. If you ever look at Manchester United, there seems to be leaks every single day that comes out of the dressing room about the club, about teammates, about the manager, about whoever. And people put it on Marcus and they put it on other people. And I don't know if that's true, and I'm not going to say it's true, but drama seems to follow Marcus, either from the fan base or from within the club. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to. Let's poll. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dean, I'll do that in just a second, mate. By the way, if you wanted to, there's the video earlier I did for the Liverpool game tonight. I talked about Kolo Muani and Skriniar within that video. So go have a watch a little bit later. Have it saved, ready for go on there. I don't see it going through many due to how much wages Marcus Rashford is on, just like Grealish. Plus, he has a bit of an ego. What Ange doesn't like egos full of themselves. Well, with one thing I would say is Ange obviously does the call. I call it the call. The call is a vetting process where he checks out who you are as a guy. Does he like your attitude? Does he like your personality? Does he think you fit with what the culture is at Spurs? You'd have to pass that. And Ange doesn't let everyone pass it. He picks them out. After this, however, United would have to pay minimum half his wages. Well, I mean, what, half his wages being £162,500 a week? Look at that quick maths, by the way. You could tell I was decent at maths at school, couldn't you? You're going to have to pay more than that. Spurs, I think, would probably say we'll pay 120, max 150 grand a week. And we don't really want to give them much on terms of the loan fee. And they're not doing an obligation to buy. Spurs aren't that stupid. Now, Daniel Levy will look at this deal, by the way, and go, okay, he's expensive on the wages, but he has a really big social media following. We can make loads of money out of that. Teams love big social media followings. I mean, let's talk about the stupidity of Twitter going, Spurs only want to sign an Asian player because they want to capitalize on the Asian market. Well, capitalize on the English market then. That's Marcus Rashford. That's one of the big name players of the English market. So that's why it makes a ton of sense. Hey, Ollie, mate, how you been? Yeah, I'll tell you what, today's been really cool. We've got a few of the OGs popping back up after a little while, Obviously, Milton in the morning. Ollie's back here. Good to see you, mate. I can't see United helping another Prem team that's in the same position out. We gave them Reggie. We can give them back. They can have him back if they need. They could do with the left back. Rashford, no thanks. Prefer Muani on loan. We're going to do it at a poll in a minute. Hey, Fish and Plants. Louise mentioning Marcus go abroad. We gave them Reggie. That's too funny. Yeah, we've already had them on a little bit. Let's not let them have us on. So yeah, I'm not blown away by this. Now, like I said, we haven't made contact with Marcus Rashford's camp, but when there's smoke, there's fire, and there's quite a few sources coming out saying there's something to this, which you've always got to hold a bit of concern. I mean, look at last season with a Ten Hag. He had a manager the whole season, 43 games, 8 goals, 5 assists, so 13 goal contributions, just under 3.5 games for a goal or an assist. It's not very good, is it, for the money that it's going to cost? That was last season. The 2022-23 season was his big season where he's played 56 times, 30 goals, 9 assists, 39 goal contributions. In 21-2022, if it loads for me, 32 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. So let's look at it. Over the 21-22, the 22-23, the 23-24, 24-25 season, you would have to say the 2022-2023 season where he was brilliant is a complete outlier because this season, last season, and the season previous to his great season, he wasn't very good. 325 grand a week. Not a chance. Not a chance. If Ange gets sacked, who would you choose? Ariel or Thomas Frank? He's not getting sacked, mate. He's not getting sacked. The only benefit in getting Rashford in is if he cooks for the loan period, then we can laugh at United fans. Well, the other big thing for me is Marcus Rashford does not work hard enough in his work rate. He does not press well. He does not track back well. If anyone who's watched Ange Postecoglou and Ange Ball, they know players have got to work quite hard. Players got to run around. They've got to press to every corner of the pitch. He's not going to be able to. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. You that was a bit mean. That was a bit mean. Let me have this back. Let me have that back. He can, but chooses not to. That's a nice way of saying it. The only bit I've done that. Rashford is a big no. Happy New Year from Northern Virginia, USA. Happy New Year, Richard, to yourself. From me, Gareth Bale. And one, Tom Brady. Always a happy New Year from us. I don't see Rashford leaving unless he's off to a team like Chelsea. I don't think even Chelsea would do him. Rashford's scary in form. He's dangerous. He's only been in form for 1 year. But good, mate. Started college in the rugby team. Good to see the growth of the channel. The beard is back. The beard is back, mate. The beard is back. Although I have debated getting rid of it to go Tash again. But we'll see. We'll see. My mother might try and kill me. If Rashford can be had on loan where the team covers a percentage of his wage, well, they would have to cover a considerable amount of wages, which doesn't really suit them. The idea is they want to move him completely and get off of his wages. And that's why they're pushing towards Saudi. They want Saudi to come and get him, and he does not want Saudi. You got to think of Marcus Rashford's brand, and him going to Saudi it really hurts his brand. He's not going there. Him and Timo Werner are not too different at this point. Oh, ouch. Ange wants workhorses rather than show ponies. Rashford doesn't fit the system. Not at all. Well, let's do a poll. Let's do the poll. Let's do the poll. This is going to be interesting because I for me, I'm going to add these in. For me, I'll be honest, I've not been big on Moani, but I think I'd go Kolo Moani personally. Hey, Donna, how are you? 43 million. Yeah, and Mbeumo is going to be way more than 43 million. Way more. He's going to be nearly. I think he's closer to double that than he is what that is. Rashford's personality. Grealish has got a good personality when it comes to football. He's a proper Spurs player with that attitude that he has. I feel Timo has one up on him and work great. Yeah, only when Ange gets on him a bit. It'd be a stupid decision by Saudis to buy Rashford and Casemiro, help their FFP situation when they compete against their own team in the Premier League. Oh, ouch. Fair play. Fair play. Go David. You got it sticks. It's Rashford or it's Moani. All right. Don't be throwing in a third option. You're going to start confusing people. All right. But yeah, no, I think for me, I'm not wanting this for an absolute second. I'm not wanting this. Okay. So I'm interested to see what you guys see on the poll, because it's contentious. I mean, people didn't agree with me on Twitter about this, and I wasn't blown away by the deal. By the way, if you want to, second channel, give a cheeky follow. We upload 1 or 2 times a day on there, so go have a cheeky follow if you fancy it. No, Donna. I heard online Bowen was going 43 mil. He's not going 43 mil. He's not going for 43 mil. If he's going 43 mil, then I am 6'7", and I am not 6'7". I can promise you that. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the poll. Moani looks like he's swept up there. Fair enough. Moani up is for sure. I agree on Moani. Let's talk. Sorry, Douglas Luiz. Sorry, just a quick one on Moani. Ben Jacobs obviously saying that we haven't opened talks with Marcus Rashford's camp. He has said that Kolo Muani still remains the top target. So there you go. Muani still the number one, the numero uno. All right. The OGs are back, baby. They are. Let's talk Douglas Luiz. So Twitter Sport talking about Douglas Luiz, saying that Spurs are considering a move for Douglas Luiz. Now, I did see something else, which I just want to bring up on Douglas Luiz that I saw on Twitter, and I've completely lost it. He was training this morning. He uploaded on Instagram. He looks pretty happy. Wait. Oh, yeah, he looks pretty happy. But yeah, Tutsport also said that Spurs are keen on signing Douglas Luiz this month. Fulham have made a concrete move for the Juventus midfielder, but are now worried that Spurs could hijack the transfer should they formalise their interest with an approach. Now, we have been linked to Douglas Luiz in the past. We've been linked to Douglas Luiz in the past. You love Luiz. No, Donna. Who voted Rashford? They've lost the plot. Jesus. So we've been linked to him in the past, right? And I do have a pause of concern. Now, I like Douglas Luiz. Prem proven, which obviously that always helps. That always helps, right? I just want to work out. Just trying to work out his monthly wage. Brilliant. You Google something and it tells you something completely wrong. You love to see it. Just trying to find. All right, he's hang on a second. So I think Aston Villa are still somewhat paying him, right? Oh, this is confusing. Oh, do you know what? I've given up trying to work out his salary. I've given it up. It makes no sense. It says that Villa are still paying him as well as Juventus. Juventus is paying 132 grand a week. Villa are still paying him 75 grand a week. I don't know. I don't care at this point. So he moved to Juventus for somewhat a fee of around 50 million euros. He's played 13 times this season, only featuring for 354 minutes. That's not a lot. That is really not a lot. That's not even 30 minutes a game. That's a worry. That's a worry. Okay, that's first and foremost has got me a pause for concern. He's 26. He'll be 27 in May. So he's about 26 and a half as we speak right now. Contract expires in the summer of 2029. So I like the move. I do. I do actually quite like Douglas Luiz as a player. I do actually quite like Douglas Luiz as a player. And it was someone that I wanted actually when we first got linked to him. And unlike Colin Moani, where I'm like, well, look, he's not had a good season in a couple of years, or a year and a half at least, a couple of years ago. Douglas Luiz was good last year, you know. There's a big reason that, you know, Villa were good last year. It's a good big reason why Villa have been on the upward trend. I know Emery's a big part of that, but players like Douglas Luiz have been a key factor in that. So he is a good player, and I do like him. I think as much as maybe he's not as athletic to get around the pitch as some of our other midfielders, I don't mind the move. I don't know what you guys think. Let me actually, let's do a poll. There we go. Douglas Luiz. Yes or no? Yes or no, Douglas Luiz. Now, the beauty, he is Prem proven. We know exactly what he's like in the Prem. We've seen it. We've played against it. We know what we're looking at with Douglas Luiz, right? It's better to sign Alicia Lehmann than Rashford. I bet she's better than Timo. Ouch. Rashford, 325 grand a week. No. Yeah, exactly. They want to get off of Casemiro. They want to get off Rashford's. They wanted to get off Sancho, and they did. They might move Garnacho or Mainu for financial fair play reasons as well. So they're trying. Man United are trying to get rid of players. They're trying to get rid of players. This window feels like Prachi's involved again with the smoke screens. Hopefully, anyway. Oh, Prachi, let him cook up a feast. How are you, Callum? By the way, mate. Tony, let's get Garnacho. For the right wing, I could be intrigued. I mean, he's not better than Son. He's not starting ahead of Son. But for the right wing, I could be intrigued. Now, if Man United are going, we want 85 million, you can have 8.5 million and we'll move from there. Villa is missing Luiz at the moment. Do we need a 6 with Archie Gray now? Archie Gray can't play midfield for a good reason. Because no one's ever bloody fit for him to. I'd have loved to have seen Archie Gray in midfield, but unfortunately, we're down about 300 million centre halves, and it's a bit annoying, you know. You like Rodgers at Villa. I do like Rodgers at Villa, but Villa would sell him for about 100 million, no doubt. No Jan signs matter until it's awful manager. Okay. There should be a hell yes option. I should have put one in there, shouldn't I? I can't. Can I change it? I can only end the poll. I'm sorry. I can't change it, Callum. I've let you down there. I've let you down, Chief. Rashford had 11%. No, some of you guys don't have ball knowledge. Ouch. I think Douglas Luiz fits our system. He's a physical player. Well, I mean, he's a 6. He's a 6. He's prone to an odd booking or two. I would say about that. But I like Douglas Luiz. I do. Good dead ball specialist as well. That's another thing. Play midfielders out there for a better price. Well, Luiz would be a loan with... Well, this is the other thing. We talked about Kolo Muani. I'm not going to talk about Skriniar because I'm not interested in Skriniar. We talked about Kolo Muani. We talked about Rashford. We talked about Douglas Luiz. I think they're the main 3 in terms of loan with an option is the vibe you'd go for, right? Out of the 3 of them, the most likely to do well in what we want is probably Douglas Luiz. I genuinely think so. Don't get me wrong. I think if all players played to 100% of their maximum ability, which is very difficult to achieve on at least even for a one-off, but a regular basis, you'd have to say Rashford probably has the highest, you know, in terms of absolute God's given ability. Now, Rashford hits it 1 year out of every 4, so 25%, you know, in the last 4 years. Kolo Muani probably is is Kolo Muani a safer pick right now? I mean, it gives you more versatility. You would have to say that. Rashford doesn't really like to play striker, whereas Kolo Muani can play striker and can play both the wings. But in terms of like surefire, this guy is going to do well for you. Douglas Luiz is one of those. Prem proven. Not, in terms of wages, he's not nearly on as much as the other 2. Cost-wise, I mean, look, they might have spent 50 million euros on him or however much Juventus spent on him. How much did Juventus pay for Douglas Luiz? Here we go. 42.35 million they spent on him, actually. Yeah. Here we go. Right. Here we go. It's a BBC Sport from Nizar Kinsella on the 22nd of June, 2024. Juventus are reportedly paying around 50 million euros, which is 42.3 million at the time for Luiz, while the club said they will receive 22 million euros, which was 18.5 million from Villa for 2 players going the other way, plus a further 3 million euros linked to bonuses. So obviously the 2 players were Berenchia and Samuel Illing Jr., which, by the way, Illing Jr., that was a flop. We've been linked to him, and I'm glad we didn't go there. But 18.5 minus the 42, you're looking at what? Let's call it 25 million. Am I being a bit mental for that? If someone went loan option to buy 30 million, who would we say no? Let's do that as a poll. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm on it with the polls today. I'm usually rubbish, but here we go. Let's say Douglas Luiz, 6-month loan option, 30 mil. Yes or no? I want to see what you guys think about that. He's the cheapest deal out of all of them that we spoke about today, Kolo Muani included. I think he's the most likely to succeed. Agree, Hansi. Spoken about Evan Ferguson. I talked about him the other day. Haven't seen Douglas Luiz play. He played at Villa for a while. Did you not ever see Villa? Cardoso early or Luiz? Luiz, I'd say Luiz right now because I know what I'm going to get with him. Whereas Cardoso, I think, probably has the higher upside and the ability might be a bit higher in the end. I think, yeah, Luiz would come in and do the job we want quite early doors. You love Luiz at Tottenham, same as buying a bag of chips. David fix the leaks that we have at the moment. I don't see Spurs signing a defender left. Spurs will be signing a defender, I think. The whole point around the midfield, the attack is where they want to be, right? So attacker was always where they were going to be. Midfield was always going to be something they were going to look at. If they could get a deal done, they would. If they can't, they can't. Of all the areas in the of all the areas in our squad, the midfield is the healthiest, right? It's so healthy that one of them's having to play at centre back, and other ones have been touted to play centre back because of the centre back issues. So, Alanga. What about Alanga? Why is Luiz leaving Suson? He's not playing. I do need to trim the mustache, I think, a little bit, and the beard. Looking a bit mental. But yeah, no, Luiz is someone that hasn't played. He doesn't even play 30 minutes a game at Juventus. So yeah. That's why they might be moving him on. Dorgu too much now. Dorgu's never too much. Not in my eyes, at least. Old Patrick, my Patrick. Is he better than Cardoso? You would have to say so, yeah. At the moment, yeah. How long he would be better than him is another question. But there's no reason why he couldn't sign both. Ooh. Get Cardoso in the summer. Little Douglas Luiz now. Little slice of Douglas Luiz now. Maybe it's just a straight 6-month loan deal, nothing else. Yes, please. All right, we'll get Cardoso in the summer. Tick, tick. Is Luiz better than Son? Well, I mean, Son is left wing and Douglas Luiz is number 6. So I would never compare the two. That's right, get Rashford. Don't you start, Ryan. You and your bloody Seagulls badge. We should go for Alanga. And do you know what? We were linked with Hudson-Odoi. That would have been a decent move in the end. He looks all right, doesn't he? If Son is 10 out of 10, then what is Luiz rated at? Irrelevant, really. I prefer Cardoso, better physical presence. It's maybe because he doesn't suit the system. Well, yes. I mean, Motta plays a very, very intriguing system. You know, it looks on paper one way, but when you watch them play, it's a very, very different system than what you really can see. A lot of people are better than Cardoso. Get me in midfield. I'll give you a tactical yellow foul. I'll need subbing off because the hamstrings are blown up straight after that, but I'll get you a tactical foul. On so many levels, there are absolutely no legs in the clickbait story of Rashford coming to Spurs. Well, no, I think they want to move him on. Man United, right? I think they want to move him on. I think Rashford wants to leave, if I'm honest. I do. I think he's kind of done with the whole United sphere of the carnage. I don't see Spurs being in there. It would suit Daniel Levy because Daniel Levy likes a homegrown player, but he also likes a very marketable player. But also Daniel Levy goes, yeah, but I don't want to, I just got the wage bill down. Why am I going to want to increase it, you know, like a stupid amount? Because even if you're saying we pay half, they pay the other half, you're still paying 162.5 grand a week for Marcus Rashford. And he's not technically even your player. Cardoso and Luiz would be great at Spurs. I could see it. You know, United are desperate to move him for sure. I prefer to go Adam Wharton in summer. I like Adam Wharton. Palace are going to want crazy money for him, and that's not even a levy issue. I think that's just a more of a they've got power in the deal and they'd want to sell him. I mean, we could have had him for 15, 20 million. They're going to want 4 times that now. You know, is there links with Jonathan David? There have been. Jonathan David links have been quieter recently. Sonic Extension was only signed to try and get money on his sale, but Levy deserves more respect. I think he's also been kept on because he is still a good player. Now, there might be a case to cashing in on him for sure, but you know, Luiz would be perfect. Just break the bank for Delap. In the one position, I don't think we need to be doing something like that because Solanke's been really good. I'm like, hey, you want to break the bank for Delap? I'd rather go get a centre half. You want to break the bank for Delap? Give me Dorgu and Cardoso. Give me 2 of those guys because we need some depth. And getting those 2 guys would start to solve some issues. Whereas Delap, I don't think truly solves the issues right this second. Good player, not denying. Really good player. Great talent. Big game player. Have you noticed in some of the games where Ipswich play someone lower down the table? Not brilliant. Ipswich play someone towards the top of the table. Delap looks like an absolute beast. Which, by the way, our fan base went really quiet when Chelsea lost to Ipswich when they've got a lot less injury issues. Funny that. Haven't really seen much from this fan base about them Arsenal losing to Newcastle last night. Funny that. It's funny how the world works. Angel Gomez and Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz. thought Rashford's going to Dortmund. He's more than welcome to go to Dortmund, Jazz. More than welcome to go to Dortmund. Anytime you're paying crazy money on wages for Werner, that is trash. You can't complain, but wages for other players, that is better. I'm not complaining. I mean, I can complain about players' wages regardless of who's on what. If you want, let's go the same way. Heung-Min Son's 190 grand a week. Heung-Min Son's better than Marcus Rashford. Do you see how that kind of negates your own point, Tony, as well? My point about wages wasn't about, it's not my money. Well, I mean, technically it's our money because we're obviously the fans and we help fund the club. Help. We don't completely help. But at the same time, what I'm saying is Daniel Levy spent all summer trying to get the wage bill down. He got it down. Why is he going to thump another? Basically, what Werner's on, he's paying Werner that, which bonkers money. Werner's on 165 grand a week. Why is he going to lump another big sum of money like that per week for a player who hasn't been good for a few years? You know, it's a big name. It sounds sexy, but reality is something completely different. Delap won't sign Spurs' next move. No, I think Delap goes back to Man City. Sell Richarlison, buy centre back. No. Don't. Don't sell Richie for a centre back. Sell Richie and get a striker and get a centre back. You know. Spurs should have negotiated a trade of Sane and Son with Bayern Munich. Well, Sane's on a free transfer this summer. We're not getting him, but I'm just saying. Archie will move to number 6 when he gets a chance. I'm not going anywhere near that player, HAA. Hey, Terry, how are you? I'll give my opinion on nowhere's the last 4. Yeah, and Chelsea lost to a team that we lost to with less injury issues. I'm not making any excuses for when we lose to Ipswich. I'm not going to make any excuse for them, right? But I'm just saying, the Spurs fan base who are so, Ange, I bloody hate Ange, didn't say anything about Maresca and losing to Ipswich. It's just interesting for me. And then you'll get people going, actually, can you look at where they are on the league table? Shut up, you freak. Kids get a goal tonight. More to appear. Richie will not be featuring tonight. From what I'm taking what Ange said as gospel. Richie should be back next week. Kinski in goal, potentially a shout. More hopefully on the bench. No, I agree with you, Tony. We don't need or want Rashford. Rashford, yes. Agreed, Harper. Dorgu should be top priority this window. I think Dorgu for the summer. Because obviously they want to... Lecce will sell you Dorgu, but they want Dorgu given straight back to them. You know. Tottenham has no centre-back for today's game. And they haven't... well, yeah, I mean, we haven't had a centre-back for... I mean, well... Is Dragic available? We've not heard anything. Dragic is not available. There'll be something coming out probably in the next few hours that will say that if he is or isn't. Do you know what? For once, it looks like Spurs Twitter are all on board with the Douglas Luiz move. That's nice. It's nice not to be miserable as a Spurs fan 24/7. It's actually pleasant. Twitter's a lovely place when misery isn't on there, you know? Yeah, good prank, everyone. Do you think Spurs have struck a deal for investment? No. No, we wouldn't have struck a deal for investment. We haven't struck a deal for the bloody name of the stadium yet. So no, it's going to be a long time before that happens. And also, investment really means nothing to this club because you're only auctioning off a very small slither. It's like having a cake. I'm going to cut you a slice. And you go, brilliant, I've got some cake. I go, yeah, you got some cake, but I've got the cake. You can't really do a lot with your slice. I can still do loads of mine. I still control, if you know what I mean. Drags available. What is the chance Yang plays? Yang, I don't think they're going to be rushing. I don't be rushing. Okay, HAA, mate. I mean, bear in mind, you just mentioned someone who's a very dodgy human being in real life to then say that, but okay. Predictions for tonight's game and Jaron chances. We're going to win 12-0. And we're going to sign 12 people. No, I said we're going to lose 3-2 tonight. And Jamie transfers. I still think we get 2. So let me end that poll. That's been up for 10 minutes. we're pretty much all in agreement, though. That's a great thing. It's starting to rain. So, look, looking at the poll, looking for it, most of us agree. Douglas Luiz, 30 million loan option. I mean, look, the Douglas Luiz option, I just said 30 million as like a rough amount. It could be much more than that. It could be 40 million, you know? Ange is available. Ange, okay. No, mate, you've just mentioned that guy's name twice. I can speak wholeheartedly for the whole of the Spurs fan base. We do not want that guy anywhere near our club, HAA. All right? Just saying. No, we're not buying Rashford, United. Don't you start. Young's been good in training. Yeah, he looks twitchy, doesn't he? Really twitchy. And normally twitchy is a bad thing, but in this case, it's a good thing. Eddie Howe's a good manager. You know, I backed Eddie Howe last season when they had all those injuries, and, you know, it turned out all right. I wonder who else is going through a lot of injuries right now. That's going to trigger a few people, which I enjoy. He's better than Timo, Jesus. He's great. He's available. Good. All right. Well, look, do you know what? For a lot of people that give Dragic a bit of stick, it's nice to have at least one centre-back. And that guy's playing through. He's not 100% fit. He's had illness. He's had injuries. And he's playing through it all. So, I mean, Archie Gray playing through illness. Warriors. I know it's only an illness. I know they're not playing through broken bones. But regardless, if I said to you, can you go play 90 minutes of football with a flu? You'd go, no, thanks. I want to stay in bed and just sleep. Those guys got out there and played. So fair play to them. By the way, also, Isaac, time wasting, not getting off the pitch. You see Archie Gray going, mate, get the F off the pitch. I was like, I hate to say this, but you're my centre-back. And I was like, you should be my centre midfielder, but you're my centre-back. I love his attitude, by the way, Archie Gray. He's going to be an absolute rock star for us. 2-0 win, Harper reckons. I love that. I love that as well. I love that positivity. I don't personally see the same thing, but I love positivity. We'll try to set it back and get Cullen Moani. And I tell you what, KVN, let me follow you there. If Spurs sign a centre-back who can masquerade a little bit of left-back, they sign Cullen Moani and Douglas Luiz on loan, Jesus, that's a hell of a window. That is a hell of a window. Could my crazy dream from last live stream come true? Colo, it's Kura and Douglas Luiz. Nova, honestly, I thought you were crazy. I did. I was like, that Nova is mental. You're not looking very mental at the moment, mate. You're looking somewhat a bit of a future teller. Which, by the way, like the video if you do. Enjoy it, lads. Appreciate that. Always helps with the algorithm and getting people to see me and not think I'm not an absolute weirdo. Why is my fitness pal asking me what I've had for lunch? Go away. I wonder if they'll get rid of Reggie finally. He's definitely on the cusp of getting rid of. Yeah. Well, our current transfer rumours. The two on the thumb. The guy on the thumbnail. The two guys in the title. Skriniar, Ko Itakura, Cullen Moani. I think that's everyone right now. You could say Cardoso. Hanko news has gone a bit quiet as well. Gray will be a future captain of Spurs. Not outrageous. Does Yang play on the right? Yang can play bloody centre half if we need him to, which we'll probably need him to. And Summer Revenge Arc, we will be there. We will be there. Dragic has only played at the club 1 year. Well, look, he's only played 1.5 years of top flight football. He played half a season at Genoa in the Serie A. He didn't play in the Serie A before that. So I'm always the guy that thinks give him time because defensively, aerially, physicality, brilliant. I think he's brilliant. On the ball, decision-making, I'd say maybe a little bit below average, which obviously brings him down, obviously, a little bit from where I think he's brilliant with those other things. But that technicality can be trained. You can improve that. Hell, I've seen Davinson Sanchez doing flicks and tricks and all sorts. It can be improved. Which is on Archie Gray's brother. He's a right taste centre forward. You never know. Hato could play both positions in the back, maybe. I think we need to sign Dorgo this window and do the return. Look, I don't hate the idea of a Dorgo move. I just can't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a pessimist. I just can't see it. What our current transfer room is. Saket, I've just said. The two guys up there on your, well, it might be down there actually, or if you twisted your phone, it might be twist it, untwist it. It's about in the middle. The two guys I've spoken about, Cullen Moani, Koa Takura, I talked about yesterday. I talked about Evan Ferguson, actually thinking about it. Skriniar, Hanko. Those are ones we've been linked to that I can talk about. He's 21. He's young. Hope everything's all right, Polly. Where are the lose rumours coming from? Seems really far-fetched. Italy. Need to take advantage of FFP now as we can go forward. Well, look, we should be taking advantage of a lot of teams, but will we is another question. Dan, Bournemouth Bournemouth losing both their strikers. How brutal is that? Evanilson, and I heard about Unal and his ACL. I've done the ACL. It's horrible. So hopefully they recover well. You know, I really hate to see players picking up massive injuries. I mean, I'm glad there's no international football this summer, that they're not missing out on anything. But for them, I feel for them. I feel for any player that, you know, does that kind of damage themselves. It's horrible. Who's going to teach tactics to Radu? It's not about tactics, mate. His tactics aren't the problem. 35 million signing in January isn't happening. Would I be interested in Chilwell on loan? God, no. Oh, God, no. 4-0 this evening. Love it. Areola won't be our manager, no. Get Phillips back from Stoke and play Dorrington more often. I think well, Stoke, 3 clean sheets in a row. Phillips been a part of all those clean sheets. I like that. I think Dorrington goes out on loan next season. I think Phillips stays out there. Yeah. You're an Arsenal fan, but I like watching Spurs play against Liverpool and last year against Newcastle. Well, I enjoyed you losing yesterday, mate, to Newcastle. So how about that? Why are you here, mate? It's just such a weird thing to do. Luiz would be a good player for us. Rashford would be an okay. Hope you're okay. I'm good, Gons, mate. How are you? Not Rashford for me, but Luiz. I'm all about Luiz. By the way, I cannot say this enough. I'm all on board with Douglas Luiz. I'm going to message my Italian friend who's a Juventus fan. I'm going to get some inside knowledge from him. And no, it's not Fabio Paratici. All right. Chilwell, regular, Andy, and you can only choose one of the two. Harper, have you got a third option for me, mate? Moani on loan with an option to buy would be perfect. Fits right away. I think Moani over Rashford for me personally. Thumbs up. You're welcome. There's my MacBook telling you something. How's FPL going? Don't start this. Don't start this, mate. I think I'm like bottom 3. I won my American Fantasy Football League, and that's all I cared about in the end. If we suck Ange, how about Thomas Frank for our club? Not for me personally. Not for me. Good manager, but not for me personally. For a club that what we're trying to do and a style that we're trying to play, it's not for me. But like I said, good manager. Man City are now advancing on a deal for Abdulkadir Kusanov. City are currently head of Premier League rivals and willing to meet Lon's asking price, which is over 30 million. So there we go. Kusanov to Spurs will not be happening. Will not be happening. He is going to Manchester City. There you go. That's just come out about 30 seconds ago. Do you think we'll get that structure? Yes. I'm not 100% confident, but yes. Donny's doing the business at the O's. Absolutely, mate. That assist, by the way, where he's literally the guy's behind him by about 30 yards, and he's on the turn, swiveled onto his foot. Oh my words! And obviously Josh Keeley on loan in goal for Leyton Orient. I mean, they're in a playoff hunt because of those two guys. I'm not saying just those two guys, but they're a big part of that turnaround for that club. You know, is it Giuseppe? No, his name's Vincenzo. Why would you go to City 130 charges? Because you can get paid a big load of money, and if you have to move, you have to move. So there you go. Good. Yang won't be going out on loan. Gunter, I don't hate, but Yang won't be going out on loan. Yang will be used at some point within the first team group this year. Milenkovic wouldn't suit us. Murillo would much more suit us than Milenkovic, athletic-wise. You know what I mean? Hey, Keeley's not just a goal scorer and a saver. He's also a playmaker. Got an assist as well, didn't he? But anyway, thanks very much for joining me this afternoon. I didn't expect to make this. Go back and watch the previous video from this morning. I'll be back either later if I can be bothered to stay up. Normally I'm asleep for about 10:30. Or I'll see you tomorrow morning to speak about the Liverpool game then. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your days. Peace.